the last words of Uncle Gale over here. Do you guys have really any remembrance of sort of a general idea of the last thing he spoke to you before he disappeared?
Didn't he say like this ahead was like a trial or something, and that like in order to continue, we had to complete it. He wasn't going to help us beyond here.
Yeah, something along those lines. So at that point, what would have happened before he disappeared? It looked like he'd be getting ready to. He pulls out of a satchel at his side what looks like a crumpled piece of parchment stained in both ink and blood. And he's about to, he begins sort of rubbing this piece of parchment with the other silver gauntlet in his hand. When all of a sudden you guys begin to hear the stirring from graves behind you. And dealing with the hollows that attacked you while reaching the home of merchant Sophia, Gale immediately puts the parchment away back into his satchel and pulls out his greatsword, preparing for more combat before whatever is about to happen. But to his surprise, as well as I'm assuming would be your surprise, instead, hollows do not appear from these graves, but more unknown undead crawl out from the dirt, much like yourselves, also looking bewildered and confused, and as if they had been slumbering for possibly decades. And Gale goes ahead and he quickly puts his greatsword away, and he rushes over to the two new undead. And he would say, "By the gods, there's more! You two are in luck. You two might truly be the ones that we've been seeking for, if more are here to help you in this instant. Who are you? Who are you to, in these last final moments, emerge from your graves?"
I am Jarnefeld. Where am I?
And you, the other one?
Yumi of the Vale.
Well, it is good that you remember your names as well as where you came from. You are standing before the last gate, heading to the shrine. The shrine in which you, as well as the two standing next to me over here, are to go to figure out where in the world they belong, as well as the next task needed to complete to figure out the whereabouts of these Lords of Cinder. Are you alright?
I seem to be okay. Have you seen a big guy in black armor anywhere? Big, tall tower shield?
Do you guys want to go ahead and describe what you look like yourselves?
Sure. Do you remember the Knights of Berenique from the first game?
Well, just for the players. But yeah.
Oh.
Does everyone else?
Yes, I remember them.
Right. So, big guy, black plate armor, big old shield, big old sword. Pretty standard, I guess.
And then what would Yumi appear as?
Very tight-fitting black clothes with face mask.
Okay. So, Jarnefeld asking, if we've seen anyone with this black-plated armor, he would say, well, you yourself look to fit that role. Are there more like you?
Well, the last thing I remember, I was following my hero, Tarkus. I was looking for Sen's fortress, but I got lost. And there was a Hydra, and now here I am. Any ideas what happened?
Why, I do recognize that name. Why, that goes all the way back to the First Age. It has been quite a while that you have been buried here, hasn't it?
Well, I guess so. What age are we in now?
Ah, that is a question the Firekeeper will answer for you. If you are to survive this next stretch of deathly road. But believe me, if you and your companion survive, all the questions that you seek may be answered. She will know. She will give you what you wish to continue. Do all of you waking here in the cemetery of Ash in these dark times wish to perhaps help each other find your own ways and perhaps join companionship with one another? Is this something that you might wish to do?
The more the merrier.
Yeah, sure.
Four
I'm not
heads
so-
would be better than one.
And one more question for was it Yumi and Jonafelt?
Yes.
Do you remember, possibly, and this might be a little bit more hazy for you, the covenants that you had joined before you found yourself in this cemetery?
I do. I was Blue Sentinel. I protected the weak.
A very dutiful and honorable covenant indeed. And then you, Yumi.
I remember hunting the forest, trying to make a living.
You said hunting the forest?
Hunting in the forest, yes.
Hunting in the forest, trying to make a living? Okay. Well, the fact that you have your wits about you and partial memory is good enough for me to know that you will not go hollow before your other companions. If you wish to join the ones here who I had been leading through the cemetery to this point, to this first trial to figure out whether or not they are fit undead seeketh of embers, then take this. And he reaches into his satchel one more, and you see the inside of his satchel begin to glow a warm white, sort of a soothing white light. And he pulls this whitish orb out as it sort of hisses and pops, and sounds almost as if a wispy, ghostly voice is coming from the center of this orb. And he says, "All of you right now, this is the final help I can give you before heading forward. This is the very last of my power for right now, until if we meet again. All, put your hands into this tireless soul and gain its benefits." And he kneels down and he puts his hood, and he lowers his head down to the ground, his hood covering his eyes and his wispy beard, and he raises this orb of this white warm power, and wishes you all to join hands in this soul.
Shall we begin?
Hedges stows his halberd and steps forward.
Enith kind of like lurches forward as well.
Okay.
Jarnfeld takes some very heavy, lumbering steps forward.
As you get closer, this, what only can be described as what you recognize as a soul, sort of magnetizes towards you. The closer you get, the more you feel drawn by it. It's sort of a primal need of yours the closer that you get to it. And you can resist the sort of primal like magnetism that you have for this soul if you wish, but if you are okay with being drawn in by it, you go ahead and try to reach out to it.
Jarnfeld
I
reaches
definitely,
out.
yeah, Enith definitely reaches out to it.
Hedges does as well.
I
They're
reach
all-
out slowly.
Alright, so everyone gets pulled in by this hissing, crackling, wispy, powerful soul. And in doing so, you hear Uncle Gale sort of cackle to himself. You're not really sure the source or the reason for this laughing that he all of a sudden has erupted. That sort of feels a little out of character for who he's been to you so far, at least to Hedges and Iudex. But as you are pulled into it, you feel a brand new life sort of fill you, and this is where you guys would gain a level at this point. And it seems that specifically just all of you being a part of this primal magnetism of this soul is what's causing you to fill with new life and gain this extra power that has been bestowed upon you. And after you do, the soul dissipates. You guys feel it sort of suck itself into your armor or into your robes and find its way, burrowing itself into the pores of your skin. Ooh, did we lose someone?
Oh, sweet
Two people
succulence!
What happened?
2 people dropped.
Oh God. Okay. Thanks for coming back, you guys. Okay. And then after that, Gale looks a bit weak, as if this pulled some power out of him. And he says, "And so the ashes were for." And he pulls the parchment out of his satchel again and crushes it in between his hands. And you can see his body begin to dissolve before you as he cackles once more. And you see nothing but just a cloud of gray smoke and ash that replaces his body.
That's uncanny.
I would just like to note that when he cackles, Enith also cackles.
Okay. Sounds good. And it was at that point, after he disappears, that you hear the cracking of heavy stone coming from your right. And looking over, you see the dust and dirt and pebbles begin to dislodge themselves from the 2 heavy stone doors here as they slowly crack themselves open by themselves, leading to a very tranquil sort of field. Let me go ahead and, before we head over there, let me reload my page because any object I'm searching for is sort of reloading. Get that little red screen. And we can go ahead and head over to Gundyr. You guys able to see everything okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason my roll 20 just keeps saying I don't have connection, but it's working just
Right,
fine.
yeah, same here. It's interesting how it's going on. Okay. So let me go ahead. We do have Groovy, so I'll just have that ready up. So you guys go ahead and you enter through. Oh, whoa! There it is. Gateway timeout. So let me go ahead and refresh. There we go. All right, good. Hopefully we won't have those picture loading problems now that I was able to refresh this. Okay, so you guys go ahead and enter through these heavy stone doors that eerily opened up all by themselves, and you smell the scent of salt water in the air and a chilly breeze. And as you enter, looking to your right, you see a vast sea with the water crashing against stone at the bottom of this cliffside here, as well as mountains that are just very vast and in the distance. Before you, you see just this grassy field where the grass is wisping back and forth from the heavy wind, and I think immediately what you would see, what would catch your attention, is this large stone coffin that is about, I would say, 15. Well, I would say it'd be about 15 feet by 10 feet in size. As far as length, it would be 15 feet in length one side, and then 10 feet. And then as far as how high it would be about 6 to 8 feet high, and it would just be covered in vines and moss. And it looks as if it had been pulled open. The heavy stone top of it had been brought to one side, and looking down into it, you would see nothing but emptiness besides just dirt and dust. And other than that, all we can see is another heavy stone door leading to wherever it would lead to next, and some very old decrepit gravestones and twisted dead trees. But I think even more important than that is in front of us, and that would be a stone figure with a very decorated crown on one knee, and just completely standing still. And this figure looks to be also about 15 feet tall, if he were standing at full size. And in his right hand, he has a twisting silver halberd, as big as he is, with his other hand sort of resting on the one knee that he has up. If we were to approach him, we would be able to hear a very slow, labored, almost breathing. So if you guys want to go ahead and investigate anything else, you can, and see if there's anything else you can figure out about this, and I can go ahead and stop monologuing.
Hedges seems quite weary, so he pulls his halberd, unstows it, and looks at his new companions as well as the swamp witch, and says, I don't like the feeling of this.
Jarnfelt hefts his shield and gets his sword ready and nods at Hedges.
Seems fine to me.
You're a mad woman.
Oh, that's for sure.
It's
We all
just
know
a
that.
statue, yes.
If we were trying to figure out if it was anything but that without, metagaming, because we all know what's going on here, was anyone wanting to make any sort of checks to see if there's anything else we can make out about this area and what its purpose may be?
Aside from checking to make sure that the grave is actually empty, no.
Okay. Were you talking about the large stone?
Yeah, the big
grave?
one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you were able to, jump and do a pull up there, which I'm gonna say, yeah, you're able to do, you would be able to see that. Yeah, it is indeed empty, and something has left its last resting place. Where is everyone on the map right now? Who's exploring what area of this?
I think we're just
myself right here.
Okay. Would anyone be brave enough to sort of approach this this slowly labored breathing statue?
Hedges doesn't want to approach it, but he goes, Oi!
Jarnfelt will put his shield up and make a move.
Okay.
He says, what are you for up there?
Your voice just echoes through the arena. Jarnfelt, as you approach this large, intimidating statue, passively you begin to hear what sounds like the writhing of leeches and bugs coming from behind this statue's back.
Jarnfelt doesn't particularly like bugs, but he's gonna try to take that halberd. He's gonna put a hand on that halberd, try to yank it away from the statue.
I would say that you would also notice what would look to be a coiled sword that has been pushed through the statue's chest, and within where this coiled sword was pushed, you can also hear the source of these writhing leeches. But do you want to make a strength check on the halberd then? See if you can pull it out.
Sure.
As he's doing that, Hedges is gonna glance dubiously at his own halberd, look up and say, Hey, what do you think you're about, Tin Man?
Silence.
He was talking to his new companion.
Oh, the Tin Man. My bad. You got the statue again. Okay, so with a 15, I would say you feel at least budge a little bit. But other than that, you can't seem to get it to scrape out of the tight-fisted grip this statue has on its halberd.
Okay.
I only do one check per player. Per specific check.
Hedges,
I
not
clicked
to
it
be
3 times
undone.
by accident. Sorry.
That's all good.
He walks up here, stows his own, and says, "You might want to be seeing to your own shield and sword and what have you." And he pulls on it as well.
You pull on the halberd or on the coiled
halberd.
Okay.
It's a strength contest now.
Same thing happens. You're able to ease it out of his hand just a little bit more with that extra strength, but he's got a very tight grip on it. It doesn't go anywhere.
Are you two done arm wrestling?
I was just getting warmed up. Step aside, sir.
Okay.
But I will.
Oh, and at that point, Hedges would also hear the strange sound of writhing of leeches coming from behind the statue.
And he goes, "Hey, what's that now?" And he'll step up to right here, not all the way around the back, but just so we can see behind it.
Okay. You see the large steel armor that has been fitted over this statue. The back of it has been pushed open from what can only be described as some sort of wound that a soldier would sustain. And the pried open back of his torso armor would give way to these writhing black tendrils that you can see coming from behind this gaping wound in the statue's back.
Hedges says, "Nope," takes a step back, and pulls out his halberd and says, "Back up ye!" And looking over at the other armor-clad figure.
What, are you scared? And I will step up to the coiled sword. And can I do a check on it of some kind?
Sure, go ahead. What kind of check would you want to do on it?
I just want to investigate the sword, the nature of the sword. I'm kind of new to D&D, so I'm not really sure what check that would be. Investigation?
Yeah.
I'm scared and you're daft.
Okay. It is. I would say it is a blackened coiled sword, so maybe you would assume that it had been charred in some way. But other than that, you don't really know the nature of what kind of material it's made out of or anything like that. But it does look at it has been sort of charred black.
Okay. I will look to Hedges and say, should I pull it out?
Hedges just kinda sighs wearily and says, "I don't think what I'm gonna be telling you is gonna matter elsewise, so do what you'll be doing, Jarnefelt."
Well, I guess I'll yank it out then.
Go ahead and make a strength roll. Nice. Okay, you pulling out this sword, you can feel a pulling back on it, as if the squelching leeches within it are trying to pull it in the opposite direction and keep it in their home, which would be inside of this statue's chest. But you are able to rip the coiled sword out from the torso, bringing some leeches along with you that splat on the floor in front of you. And in doing so, you get sort of an eerie feeling of just sort of a spine tingling feeling on your back. And the very low labored breathing becomes heavy. And all of you begin to see dim red lights begin to glow from this statue's eye sockets and get brighter and brighter, as it becomes very apparent to you that this is no stone statue. this is a monster of some kind.
Charterfelt's going to take a couple steps back and ready his shield.
If I have the opportunity, that area with the tentacles in its back, Hedges would like to swing his halberd at it.
Let's see. I think we'll go ahead and do an initiative for that. Actually, yeah, I would say you can go ahead and, if you're 10 feet away from it, yeah, then you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So before this thing springs itself to life, as it begins to take in deep breaths, you go ahead and you can... Alright, so you go ahead and you slash at... we'll go ahead and bring down... Okay. So you go ahead and you slash at these weaving tendrils on its back. You able to hear?
You have to adjust this volume. Click on the mod.
Brian, can you hear me?
No, I'm still trying to turn down the sound.
So in general chat, where Groovy is, do you see that?
Yeah, I did.
And then you can just right click and do user volume.
Okay. Do I right click on its name whenever it pops
Yeah,
back
you
up?
right click on Groovy and you go to user volume and you bring it down however much you think you should.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and bring it back. Be able to fix it?
I'm not seeing user volume, I see profile, mention, message, call, block, and roles.
Click it. Don't right click it. Just left click it. Wait, no, it is right click. Yeah, you should just be able to right click it. User volume should be red when you're at now.
Right clicking and left clicking it. You guys can see it.
Popping on Twitch right now. Okay, right click it. Yeah, what the heck?
I have volume for it.
Go to on the left, not in the chat.
Yeah, in general,
Shit.
voice.
Oh, got it. Cool.
God damn it!
Thanks.
You're ruining my atmosphere.
Oh! Alright, sorry. Let's go.
Well, glad we got it fixed for you. Alright, let's try this one more time. Okay, you got it fixed?
Yeah. It's good.
Dope.
Ambient. Love it.
Sick. Alright, so you bring up your halberd and you strike these tendrils with it well. Go ahead and roll damage then. Okay. 7 slashing damage from your heavy halberd is enough to cut these tendrils from this, what was once a stone statue's back, as they squelch and squeal. But in doing so, more of these leeches just go ahead and replace right where you cut them off. And at this point, this large, intimidating champion before you gets on both feet and raises his halberd and lets out a low growl of what sounds like anger at his awakening. And we'll go ahead and we will roll for initiative.
Okay, seeing him stand up, could I cast Mage Armor?
Would that be something that you'd have to do during your turn, or is that like reaction?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say we'll wait for turn order.
Okay.
But at the same time, it'd be sort of a surprise round kind of thing because he isn't ready for combat yet. So I'd say I'm okay with that.
I did crit my initiative roll. If that helps.
Okay.
At all.
At the same time, we won't put that in initiative. I'll say this is sort of like a surprise round kind of thing. So you can cast Mage Armor before then.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let me go ahead and write down initiative for everyone. (20, 17, 17, and... And then we'll go ahead and we'll roll for our big boy, and hopefully he crits too. A 6. Beautiful. Okay, so first step would be the cackling witch.
I'm gonna throw a firebolt at his back.
Okay. Cool, you're all the way behind him. Right. Ooh, yep, you're able to hit. Okay. So you shoot the firebolt directly into his wound as these leeches begin crawling out to try to get away from the flames, and you can hear them popping and hissing. And you deal... Let's see... an extra... Would this work as double or an extra damage die work? Because you do deal damage
Is
to
it
something
weakness?
that would be vulnerable.
Is it vulnerable?
Yeah.
Double.
Okay. So you deal 14 damage to this champion's wound.
And then that's all I'll do on my turn.
Okay, and you can hear a loud, low groan coming from within. And next step would be Yumi or Hedges, either of your choice. Whichever would like to go first.
I
Doesn't
guess I
Yarnafeld
will.
go before? Didn't he roll a 20?
I got a 20, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. And it would be
No worries.
Jarnafeld next, and then you guys would choose.
So is he still facing me, or has he turned?
He's still facing you. Still facing your direction.
Okay, I will step right up and take a swing with the long sword, one-handed.
Okay. Alright, and in doing so, you just sort of chip his armor and it bounces off and you deal no damage.
Sweet.
Which would be technically a miss, but for flavor.
Okay.
Because it'd be pretty fucking difficult to miss this guy.
Yeah.
And then next up is going to be Yumi or Hedges, whichever.
Yumi has the higher dex modifier, so should probably go ahead of me, right?
Okay. As this large boy begins to awaken, what is Yumi's first move?
I will draw one of my short swords and use my entire turn moving closer.
Okay.
Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 25. There.
Okay, perfect. And this is his back. So he is still facing the initial direction. So you're going towards his back. And then, yeah, so go ahead, Hedges.
Alright, Hedges is gonna lean into another halberd attack and says, bigger doesn't always mean better.
Alright, and you do a good slash in between his silver armor, hitting his flesh, and let's see how much damage you deal.
And then he's gonna use the butt of his halberd for his bonus attack to attack again.
Okay. And that's another hit. Another good slash at the flesh. Okay.
And seeing that this creature's still yet to react, Hedges is also going to burn his action surge and attack again.
Okay. Alright, and that chips his armor but bounces back off, not a hit. Go ahead.
end his turn there.
Alright. And next up, then, would be our big boy himself. As he turns to face the direction of who it was that pierced the inside of his body with fire. And he sees the two of you standing directly before him, closer than his true target and nemesis, Iudex, over there. And he begins to rush in the direction of Hedges and Yumi. So let me go ahead and see what we can do here. So he's going to go ahead and just lumber forward, the ground shaking beneath his feet, and that would be an attack of opportunity from Jarnefelt.
Okay, how does that work? I just roll attack?
You just make a normal attack.
Yeah.
It's a free action.
Yeah, if an enemy moves out of your 5-foot range, then you can make an attack against them.
So I have to roll to see if I can hit them first, right?
Yep. Okay, that time you do swing and miss from him lumbering away from you. Okay. And then he's going to go ahead and raise his halberd, and he's going to try and slash Hedges with it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Holy fucking Christ. Okay. So he swings his halberd down, and it hits the ground right between Hedges and Yumi, and dirt goes flying, and damage is done to neither of you. And in doing so, he picks up his halberd once more and swings it in the opposite direction. Tries to attack Yumi this time.
It tied for my AC. Is that a hit or a miss?
That's a hit. Okay, so you take one strike from his halberd, and we'll go ahead and see how much damage you're dealt. 6. And then go ahead and make a strength saving throw. Okay, Yumi, you have been tossed back 5 feet and knocked prone from the power of his strike. So let me go ahead and put the correct symbol.
Yes.
God damn it, where the fuck did the oh, there it is.
Yumi's got you, dude. She's prone.
Okay, cool, yeah. Perfect. Okay. And at that, this monstrous humanoid makes a loud roar. And next up would be Iudex once more.
Okay, so are you doing diagonals as 5, and then the second one is 10?
Diagonals?
Yeah, like
Yes.
diagonal.
Yeah. 5 diagonal is 5, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I am going to. His back is positioned, assumedly, to the what would be west of the map. Okay.
Okay. You can go if you want to. You can use the arrows.
Okay, so like his back is facing this way.
Okay. Oh yeah, I would probably use the arrows. Yeah, he's facing Yumi right now.
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move right there. I'm gonna throw another firebolt,
Okay.
and I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, you whiff that. Streaks just over his arm.
And then that'll end my turn.
Okay. Good, Jarnefelt.
I will move into line with the black bugs and leeches and stuff on his back and try to hit him.
Go for it. I'm gonna do this sort of a little interesting interaction. Would you like to try to hit the leeches themselves or his back? If you try to go for leeches, it'd be disadvantage. But there's a possibility it's sort of like a weak spot of his, or you can just go for a regular attack.
Can I use the roll that I already made?
Oh, no, sorry, I didn't see that you rolled. So we'll just go to the 18. That'll be for next time then. So yeah, you go ahead and you hit.
So how do I just like roll a d8 and then add 2, or how do I make it show up in the chat?
Click
properly?
on longsword one-handed in the chat under the 18 and 20.
Yeah, you can just click the weapon you're using and it'll roll it for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. So 5 slashing right against his back. Awesome.
And that'll be it for me.
Alright. Okay, and then next up, we're going to have Yumi, who's going to take half a movement to get up from being prone. Now I'll remove this symbol for you.
I'm going to move 5 feet away and switch to my short bow, but no attack action.
Sounds good. Alright, so you're back up to that twisting dead tree and bring your short bow out. And next up is going to be Hedges.
Alright, let's keep whapping.
Okay. Alright, that's a solid hit to his torso. Okay, and then the second one is a miss.
Alright, and he'll end his turn there.
Okay. At the beginning of Iudex's turn, Hedges and Yumi, you begin to hear a few things crawling out of the ground around you. As shriveled, fragile, dirt-covered hollows begin to crawl out from their graves and snarl, mad.
Alright, can I whip around and give the one right behind me an attack of opportunity due to Polearm Master? It entering my reach.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, and that was a... Here. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, 14. There you go. Yep, you got it. There's a good slash on him. You deal 14 slashing damage. Okay. Alright. This one has a gaping wound on its, let's see, shriveled chest. You slashed right through its tattered clothing. And it is barely alive, but it is still there.
And Hedges gives the creature a grim smile and wields back to face the larger foe.
And they're both going to take that's going to be their action, just crawling from their graves there. Actually, I would say that'd be more just half their movement would be doing that, since 15 feet is probably more than they were buried underground. And so the one that you had slashed its sort of rib cage open is going to run blindly at Hedges and begin clawing and screeching at him. So let's see if this Mad Hollow will be able to... Nice! Oh, that's a D10. Thank God. I thought it was a crit fail. Okay, so you just feel it scratching at your heavy plate armor, but other than that, no damage is dealt to you. And Yumi, this starved hollow over here, is also going to try to hit you. It's going to be a 21. And so you can feel its sharp claws scratching at your flesh below your armor. And let's see what we got here. And you take 5 slashing damage.
I'm already almost dead.
Okay. Don't you worry. I'll give you some consultation. Don't you worry.
He has a thirst for blood. Be very worried.
Okay, Iudex is going to go ahead and turn at Jarnafelt, so his back is now to Hedges and Yumi, and he's going to raise his halberd and try to, slash the hell out of Jarnafelt. So let's see what happens here. That's a 21 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
Alright. Alright, he slashes you for 9 damage from his heavy halberd, and go ahead and make a strength check. Alright, you've been knocked backwards and knocked prone.
Cool.
And Gundyr is then going to go ahead and charge Inyith. Ainith, you see him bring his best foot forward and sort of smash it down into the dirt. And he gets ready for a charging attack towards you.
Oh, fuck!
And in doing so, he leaves Hedges' space, so you can go ahead and get opportunity attack against him.
I wish I could. I already used my reaction.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Okay. Alright, so you guys feel the ground shake and tremble beneath you, and you can see sort of his feet burying themselves deep within the earth as he, well, not deep, but within the earth as he rushes forward towards Ainith and makes a charging attack. So let's go ahead and see if he can hit you. Damn. Alright, that is a hit.
Barely.
Barely, yep. Okay, so you're going to take... You take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Yike.
And you are going to be knocked prone.
Alright.
What's health bar? What's everyone's health at right now?
3.
4.
8.
Fucking for real. Okay.
20 fucking 3.
Okay. So, let's see here.
I have a very shitty plan on how to deal with these hollows.
Okay. Don't worry. As far as Gundyr goes, you guys have done a substantial amount of damage to him. So as long as he's out of the picture, then we've got to check. We've got to take him out of the
He hasn't even f***ed yet. Oh my god, we're all dead.
He hasn't even what?
Phase
He has
2.
entered phase 2.
Okay. So
That just says okay. Keeps going.
I don't know what else to say. Okay. Let's
Open
see.
up the player handbook and start rolling your next character. That's what you say.
Next up is Ainith. Go ahead, buddy.
Alright, so I'm gonna stand up.
Okay.
Think real. Oh god. I'm gonna take a dodge action.
Okay.
Oh fuck. And I am going to.
You guys got this. 2 hits. 2 hits, and you might get him at his super phase.
Just so you know, if you stand by me, I can use protection and give him disadvantage.
Okay,
I
so
don't know if
what's
you can get.
Here's the thing, like, so I can not take a dodge action and move by you, but the really thing is, I think I need to get out of his attack range, otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm toast.
He can close the distance next round. Yeah, do it.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna take a dodge action.
Oh, shit. I didn't do that. That was an accident. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna move to this corner.
Okay.
So
So were you able to take the... Well, what were you using? Were you going
Did you
to
use
not provoke
disengage
him?
or dodge?
I suppose disengage. There's only one opponent. Yeah, so I disengage.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright,
I'm
so you
prepared.
move
That's
to
what
the
I thought
far
you said.
corner and
Yeah, that's what I
cower
meant.
like a cowering witch.
Yep. That's what I do.
Okay. And then next up then is going to be Jarnafelt.
I will stand up.
Movement to stand up, yep.
So is that all of my movement or half?
Nope, that's half.
So I can move close enough to hit him then.
Uh-huh.
And I will
You
hit
would
him.
still be close enough to hit him over there. Because he's in a 10-foot square.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to try and hit him.
Okay, and you've got your back to him. Okay, and you do not hit him.
Gonna miss like a champ. And I don't know. That's kind of all I can do, I think.
Okay.
If you have any movement left, you can move around him without provoking an attack of opportunity and maybe get closer to me.
I think I can go that far with my movement.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go there.
So, what is the HP of Jarnafeld and Hedges right now?
8.
23.
8 for Jarnafeld.
Okay. So, next up is Yumi then. What's Yumi gonna do?
Playing dead, obviously.
Can I use acrobatics to try and climb the tree to get out of reach of this hollow?
Yes, you can. Go for it. Climb the tree. Awesome. You have climbed the tree, and like the brave Ashen Undead that you are now in a tree.
I use my other action to attack.
Man. You're using your what?
Can I use my other action to attack?
Yeah.
And I'm going to shoot at the hollow that clawed me.
You know what? I always thought these trees were just gonna be kind of flavorful. I didn't realize that they were gonna be a strategic point of combat. But
I'm at 4 health, man!
you're right. Okay, yep, so you go which hollow were you shooting at?
The
Behind Hedges?
uninjured one that clawed me.
Okay, alright, so go ahead and you definitely pierce through its flesh, and how much damage are you dealing?
That doesn't seem right. That was the attack,
Click on
not the
the
attack
short
mod.
bow.
Oh,
Yeah, click short bow. There
9.
you go. 9.
And there's no ally within 5 feet of it, so I don't get sneak attack bonus.
Okay, so let's see here. They are both at incredibly low health. It looks like any sort of attack after this would end either of their miserable existences. And then if that's it, we will go ahead and we will move to Hedges.
Hedges, ignoring the one at his back, roars and runs forward and says, "Focus on the major foe."
Alright, attack of opportunity on you from this dying boy's claws.
Yeah, he gives no shits. He's gonna miss.
Okay.
Why would you leave me alone over here?
You're fine.
You're in a
You're fine.
tree.
Alright, he just flashes into the air and does nothing. And go ahead
Hedges
and...
does take a half second to lift his visor and spit on it as he runs by.
Oh, dope.
Alright,
Deserved.
pulling that down. I'm guessing I don't have charger feet, so nothing there. Just go ahead and just give him the old whap-a-rooney.
Let's give him the whapperoonie. Halberd slashes through his armor. You got him.
Oh yeah, give him
Alright,
a freaking whap-a-rooney. I'm gonna re-roll that as part of my greater weapon master. I can re-roll 1s and 2s on damage.
Okay.
So let's re-roll that. There we go. I like that better.
Oh, Jesus. Alright.
So 13 and 8.
Okay. Let me go ahead and see where we're at now. My handy dandy calculator. Okay. At this point, this champion howls loudly in pain and falls to one knee, his halberd hitting the dirt beside him. And it is at this point that you guys are able to, as long as he's in this stance of trying to regain his poise, any attack on him would be an attack of opportunity. But unfortunately, Hedges is the last person to attack him before it's his turn. So is there anything else you were able to do to him?
Nope, that's it.
Alright. So this champion now down on his knees with his halberd sort of being used as a cane to an old man. You can see the tendrils on his back begin to consume him as the leeches pour out from every hole in his armor and hole in the wounds that has been sustained by him. And his eyes begin to glow a brighter red as some sort of monstrosity pushes its way out of his armor, and you see just blood to begin to pour out of these wounds. and you hear a screech coming from within his helmet. And as this happens, go ahead and get rid of the old Iudex. And as this happens, a large mass of leeches forming a monstrous creature emerges from his back, taking his sentience over and sort of having a sentience of its own. And the screech is piercing to the ears, and he will go ahead and take his turn. So let's go ahead and see what he does here. He's going to turn to Jarnafelt as Iudex has now been given new life. He holds his halberd in one hand now rather than two, and a large fleshy claw has emerged from the monstrosity that has emerged out of its back. And so he's going to attack you with his halberd, and the sentience that is poisoning his is going to attack you with its claw. So let's see what we've got here. Hopefully we don't crit. Okay, so the halberd now being with one hand from this shaking, dying man just whiffs and goes directly over your head. And this giant fleshy claw coming from the massive leeches is also going to try to slam down on you. And that is also going to miss as you brace yourself, and the claws just end directly at your feet, and dirt just sprays onto your armor. And next up will be these hollows. The one below you is going to try to climb the tree to get to you. So let's go ahead and make a strength roll from him. Hopefully he can get to you, because that's some baby shit. Let's see. No, wow!
Falls down, breaks his neck. Yes.
Okay, the hollow scratching at the tree trunk just falls backwards onto his ass, and he is just prone on the ground and bleeding. And the second one is going to rush at Hedges blindly, and is going to try to...
when he gets to 10 feet right there, I'm going to go ahead and give him the old attack of opportunity, if you don't mind.
Okay, cool.
And here's that crit. Oh!
Oh!
Called it.
Dang.
Okay, so this is sort of like a wind-up. You see him coming, and you anticipate his attack, and as he begins moving, you just, get your halberd ready, and right as he gets to striking distance, it is a perfect swing and a perfect slash, and you're able to slash his body in two pieces. His legs go to the ground, and the front half of his torso flaps to the ground to the side of it.
Don't even roll damage. It's all good.
No, don't even roll damage. It's fucked. You fucked him up.
Gave him the old Barry Bonds of Rooney. Alright.
Yeah, he is now in two pieces on the ground in front of you. And next up is going to be Ineath in the corner here, as you see this massive leeches and monstrosity attempt to attack Jarnafelt and completely whiff.
I'm gonna cast Grease, centered here, like this.
Okay. Go ahead and get a little bit of a visual for that. What the fuck? Roll20 sucks with all these dumb pictures.
Dude, they're all just pulled off the internet, but yeah, some of them are
Awful.
terrible.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Don't
So
you
where
love
are you
that?
going to center it at?
Right
Yeah,
here.
and just
It's
read
the
it.
exact point. Here, just ping.
Sorry, can you do them? Okay, there we go. Okay, cool.
So it'll be on two of the squares that Iudex is on, and then two of the squares to his left. Yep.
Okay, cool. And then let me go ahead and fill that in.
And then that's a dex save from him.
Okay. Let's see what his dex is like. Probably not great. Okay, and then what's the save he has to make?
13.
13. Nope. Whoa!
He is prone.
Okay, this large monstrosity goes ahead and falls on his ass. He's writhing around in this grease.
That's a lot of grease! So then Ethan's gonna run over by the door.
Okay, let us out. Um, next up's gonna be Jarnafelt.
So he's prone. That gives me advantage, right?
It does.
Uh-huh.
Sure
I'm
does.
going to. Well, tell me if I can do this. Can I sling my shield and two-hand my longsword? Or
Yeah,
is
I'd
that
be
too
okay.
many
with it.
actions? Okay.
That's not an action.
Yeah, wouldn't that
That's-
just be a bonus action?
No, it's considered like a free move, basically.
Oh shit! All right, even better.
So I guess I hit him with that 22.
Oh yeah, sorry, didn't see the attack. You slammed down right on his head.
And I have a thing called Divine Smite.
Nice.
I'm not sure how to make that damage show in the chat.
Just roll
Yeah,
2d8.
2d8.
Yeah, just roll 3d8.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Let me get this apple out of my mouth. So the initial first slash, you go ahead and you're able to crack the silver crowned helmet that he's got going on there. And leeches begin pouring out, and he looks at you with his resonating, pulsating, dark, abyssal red eyes. And you go ahead and you raise your weapon another time, and you slash down right into the opening of his armor in his face. And in you doing that, the squelching mass above him begins to screech as loud as it possibly can, and all of the leeches that form this mass just start to fall apart and fall into a big pool on the ground as they die and decay away. And the red lights within Iudex's now cracked stone helm begin to fade away.
Nice.
And you have defeated your first boss.
But not the one hollow that's left keeping that guy open.
And who is just writhing on the ground. Yumi, you want to go ahead and finish him off for us?
Alright.
Go ahead and do a plunging attack.
We're playing Sekiro now.
I'm gonna need both my swords for this one.
Oh,
He's
nice.
within 5 feet, so that advantage works.
Uh-huh. And how much damage are we dealing? Perfect. Alright, you plunge down on this helpless hollow. And get him right through the fucking face with your sword. And that's the end of him. And you're no longer in the tree.
I
Alright,
should have
you
went
guys.
through it.
With the death of this powerful champion, we see cracked out of his torso, trying to escape through the small cracks of his wounds. Another mass of souls begins to swirl up in the air and divide themselves in four as they pierce your very souls, it feels like, and invigorate you with some more life force. And it seems that Iudex is now nothing more than a statue and a lifeless husk of the body he once was. As that happens, we begin to see the doors behind us creak and crack open, just like the ones leading us into the arena did. And if any of you were entranced and intrigued enough by the... well, who has the coiled sword right now?
I do. Jarnafelt. I pulled it out anyway. I think I still got it.
Yep.
We can go ahead and see if these hollows who emerged from their grave had anything on their bodies, if we would like.
Enid's gonna like lay down and immediately start like tending to her massive wound from the fucking.
Yeah, if you guys want to
ghetto
go ahead
stomping
and
her.
do your do a long rest here, I'd be okay with that.
I'm sort of fucked.
Yeah, long rest is good.
Head just wants to go check out that halberd. Does it look anything special, any better than his? It's probably pretty big, I imagine.
Oh, Iudex's halberd?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it definitely looks very unique. It looks handcrafted, and it has a twisting, swirling design going from bottom to top, and it looks very hefty indeed. Like it might be sort of pulsating with magic energy. So, what were you wanting to do approaching it?
Gonna stow my halberd, just grunt admiringly, and pick it up. And just give it a few test swings in the air, see if it feels any different in the balance.
I do know the spell identify. About that.
And he walks over then and just kind of like tosses the halberd to her, and then like starts to think of it better as like she's mortally injured, and like scrambles after it and tries to catch it back in the air before it hits her and potentially kills her.
Well, first of all, here, as soon as you pick it up, it begins to glow with the same sort of energy a soul would, and sort of obey your, grabbing it is sort of like you've become its new wielder kind of thing, and it shrinks in size to fit your own size, and it is now from top to bottom as tall as you are. And you, right now, it feels as if in doing so, it has lost what power it had with Gundyr. And it feels like just sort of a regular halberd now. But there might be a reason for this that can be corrected. But you can go ahead and keep whatever it is, throwing it to Anyeth and trying to catch it. That still happens if that is something that you still wanted to do.
No, he's gonna, after feeling that, just the way it responded to him, before handing it to Enith, he's gonna tell her exactly what he felt and wants to make sure it's okay with her handing it over. Last thing he wants to do is hand something over that's potentially cursed.
Right.
Ooh, curses! I love them!
And then he, just lifts up his visor and scratches his beard, shrugs, and hands it to her. And then while the other two are tending to their wounds, Head just realizes he never even formally introduced himself, so he wants to go and do that and congratulate them.
Perfect.
Well, at least the the paladin on the good fight. And he looks over at the monk, doesn't introduce himself, and sits down.
I see how it is.
What we'll do is, because souls are currency in this world here, we're going to, as all of Gundyr split itself up amongst the four of you, you're going to also accumulate some more souls. So each of you are going to gain 750 souls each.
Ooh, yeah.
Is souls experience or?
Souls is currency in this world, so it's going to be gold.
Okay.
Okay, so Enid's gonna pull out her spellbook, which is just a bunch of like loose leaf, like tattered paper, like horrible like stains on it everywhere, and she's gonna find her identify spell and begin ritually casting it on the halberd.
Okay, go for it. And there's no roll for that, right?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to just link identify for you?
Yeah, let me go ahead and just get the nitty-gritty of it.
While that's happening, Hedges,
The
because he
nitty-gritty.
still feels fine, he's going to go stand watch at the doors that just cracked, make sure nothing comes in and surprises the party.
Okay. So looking through the doors, you can see the path is just a long, winding dirt road through more thick forest.
Okay.
And then...
This is a long rest, right? I get my health back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see. As far as identify goes, you can tell that this halberd is capable of some very powerful magic properties, but since it has been torn from its master, the properties have gone away with it. But they still, there's still a spark of the magic inside of them that seems like it might be able to still be awakened. And what you're able to tell that this thing is capable of is that it is a +1 halberd, and it also can be wielded with one hand, but requires attunement.
Oh, It's a walking stick.
Is that what she tells Hedges?
No, she'd hand it back and explain it to him. But she would speak very slowly, as if like you didn't understand magic whatsoever.
And Hedges nods and says, "Ah, well, thank you, witch. And how might I be attuned to this?"
Why do you call me a witch?
He says.
She just glares at you.
He looks at you and says, pardons, Lady Witch.
Thank you. I believe you have to spend at least 1 hour with it, but I have no idea how to get it to activate again. So to
that would be correct with the sort of the attunement hour, just sort of like a rest with it.
Hedges laughs and says, "Say no more," and he starts spinning around like a helicopter with it till he gets dizzy.
Oh yes, faster!
Who wants to go ahead and search the bodies and possibly the graves of these?
Well, I am sitting on one.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation roll for me, and we'll have only one person search, and then you guys can divide it up.
Let's see, investigation.
depending on how you
There
want.
it is.
Oh,
20.
nice. Okay. So collectively, between these two hollows, you're able to get 14 more souls from them. And then let's see if they have any sort of treasure on them.
Do they have the precious or what?
We'll see. Okay. One of these hollows in its previous life, you can assume what kind of adventurer he might have been. But in his pocket, he had a spell scroll of prestidigitation, as well as a potion of healing. And in the other one's pocket, let's see what he's got going on here, is a potion of climbing, as well as a potion of healing. Which is interesting, because if he could have possibly remembered that he had a potion of climbing in his pocket, he could have probably done a little bit better.
He was hollow. He wasn't going to drink the potion.
No, he wasn't. So you guys can split that up however you want. Spell scroll of prestidigitation, two potions of healing, and a potion of climbing. As well as those 14 extra souls.
I'm going to walk over to Ineth and hand her the scroll and one of the potions.
Ooh, thank you.
Which one of the potions? The climbing one, right?
The healing potion.
Oh, the healing potions, okay. Alright, and this tranquil cliffside field is now at peace once more. We hear the rolling of the waves against the rocks below the cliff. And we see this open, heavy door leading to this forest trail.
Just before we move on, was there a merchant where I could buy some plate armor nearby here? Like from last week or whatever?
Shouldn't there be a merchant in the shrine?
Well, what shrine? What?
We're not sure yet, but I would say the merchant was pretty far back, and I would say it would probably take less time to go forward to our destination than it would to go backwards.
Yeah, we'll go forwards then.
Okay.
Forget I ever said anything.
You're good.
Is Hedges now attuned to this halberd?
Yes, but you have not been able to grant its power for some odd reason.
Okay, so I know what it does, but it still functions as a standard halberd.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, like, there's something I'm guessing we have to do to, like, get it to work.
Right.
Maybe collect, like, a transposing kiln.
Something like that. Who knows?
What should I name this halberd?
Craig.
Craig?
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
Name it
Craig.
Hammer.
Craig the Decapitator.
Craig, the shy boy, is not willing to tell you or let you do what you want it to do yet. Are we moving forward, or are we enjoying the view?
yes. Moving forward.
Okay. So, we have survived this deathly encounter that we assume many have died trying to pass before us. And we find our way past these heavy stone doors. We assume not very many people have passed. And there is just a winding trail through dense tree cover and foliage. And we travel for probably a couple hours as we hear silence. We don't hear the sound of calling birds or, wildlife going through the trees. It's just sort of a deathly, hollow silence. When eventually we come to a clearing, and we hear the sound of somebody sobbing. Coming to this clearing, we see the great structure of what almost looks like a temple of black cobblestone before us, with about 20 feet worth of stone steps covered in dust and ash, as well as trees and foliage that are twisting and vines surrounding its walls. And a fountain that might have been used once but is now just full of dust. Before us is a man that Yumi would recognize looks to be from the same sort of province that he would be, in Eastern Land. He shares the same sort of traits and culture, as well as his garments and what he's wearing. And he is on his knees, sobbing, and has a long katana piercing the stomach of this hollow woman at his feet. And he has his head bowed and his hair is a mess. And he does not notice you all come forward.
I'll step forward. Please allow me to deal with it. He is a kinsman.
Very well, but make it quick.
Okay, so he has not noticed you approach. He seems to be just racked in sadness and trauma, and he's whispering to this dead hollow and saying, Why must you have attacked me? Why, my dear daughter? Why would you do this to me?
I put a hand on his shoulder and speak to him.
As soon as you put a hand on his shoulder, he looks shocked and he grabs a dagger that you did not notice beneath his robe, and he just looks at you and says, Who are you? What are you doing?
I'm with the group, the South. We just arrived here.
He looks down towards. He looks up towards the fountain and sees the three of you, and stands up, leaving the katana in the stomach of this hollow. And he looks to get in sort of a fighting stance. He's a little afraid. He says, Are you hollows as well? What do you want from me?
Sir, please, we just finished the trial. We don't know who you are.
He just lets out a long sigh and falls back down to his knees. And he says, The world is in pieces. Why would it let my daughter go hollow? What did she do to deserve this? And he just begins sobbing again. What is it the rest of you do in this moment as Yumi's got his hand on this Eastern man?
I mean, Yumi kind of told us to let her deal with it, so I'd just be kind of chilling back.
Okay.
Just kind of waiting for Yumi to deal with this.
Jarnafelt's gonna wander over to this tree and look up it and at Yumi back and forth, wondering what he was doing. Like, why would he go up there?
Hedges is going to wander up closer to the fountain pool with his hands out, placatingly, gives the man a salute, and bows his head in prayer over his daughter.
Oh, wow. Okay. This would calm down this Eastern warrior as he would stand back up to his feet and he would say, I see you bring me no harm. I originally was here to protect the shrine. I myself am not of ash as I'm assuming you are. I can smell it on your undeath that you are of ash, and seeing that you have come from the road leading to Iudex Gundyr's final resting place. Unfortunately, it seems the hollow curse has followed itself to the shrine, even as my daughter, who I was protecting in the shrine, has attacked me. She was all that I had left to live for in this deathly world. Now I am afraid that without a cause of my own, I might go hollow as well.
Hedges looks up to him and says, "Well, I ain't been around here too long, friend, but I can tell you that these are grim tides indeed, and I believe each one of us has lost a bit of us, or even a lot of us, but there is always a way to go, and that is forward."
Yes, indeed. There is no use continuing to cry over my daughter's body. She is gone, and she would want me to continue living on. I see all of you here. I'm thankful for your presence, and I am thankful the shrine now has more ash to guide its way towards whatever remaining embers of these Lords of Cinders may remain. And he goes ahead and he reaches into a satchel on his back, and he pulls out what looks like a small crystal that is covered in sort of a small ritualistic cloth. And he puts his hand on Yumi's shoulder, bows his head, and says, "This is for you and your companions. It is my family soapstone. If you need help once, you may call upon my spirit, and wherever you are in these transitionary lands, I may help you. Maybe even just once, but I'm willing to risk my death, for you seem to be my only cause left to live. Please take this in my gratitude of your kindness."
Yumi bows and accepts it, offering a sincere apology and many thanks.
He says, "Please do not take any more pity on this old man. I will stay with my daughter for as long as I can, and hopefully in the transitionary lands, if you do call upon my family soapstone, my spirit that is still human may be able to assist you. But go now. Leave me."
Hedges makes a wide berth around, doesn't want to walk the way of his past daughter, gives the man another salute as he walks by and doesn't say another word.
Enith walks right up to him and just goes, "Condolences," and she hands him one of the dog paws that she cut off from the first session.
He takes it, but doesn't say anything.
"For good luck," and she just kind of walks.
Gives Anyth a sort of confused half bow. And then continues to rest on his knees and look down at his daughter and just sort of mumble prayers as long as he can, as long as he's still human.
Jarnafelt looks at the tree one last time, shakes it, snorts and laughs, and then walks by, gives the guy a nod, and goes over there.
Okay, and then what does Yumi do?
Yumi bows and offers one final eastern farewell before moving onward.
He seems to be very, very grateful for it and show quite a lot of respect for you doing so.
"Notice me, senpai."
Ikari
All right,
Kamasu.
then we continue up these ashen, decrepit stone staircases. Let me go ahead and oh, fuck. That's good enough. Let's see if this works. You turn up the volume, maybe it's a little low. There we go, perfect. Alright, so the volume, if you guys want to turn the volume a little bit, it seems to be a little bit low, but if you can hear it, cool. So there are two more heavy stone doors, and they have these very intricate patterns on them that look to appear the same as the coiled sword that you pulled out of Gundyr's body, in addition to carvings and etchings of flames and embers around them. And we can see the glowing of torchlight below these steel doors. And it seems to be unlocked. So who is going to want to push these doors open, if anyone?
I cast Mage Hand and push them open.
Okay, we hear the pushing of these steel doors through the use of Einmith's magic. And we are greeted immediately by a waft of very cold breeze indeed. And let me go ahead and turn this down. And upon opening these doors, is mostly a very dark, dimly lit, sort of shelter feeling almost, just very closed off from the world, and only small, tiny, wavering torch lights and candles on the floor keep this place somewhat lit. And there is just piles of ash that are seeping down from the walls and that have collected themselves in the center of the floor and on the sides of the columns. And this place just seems to be half caked and blanketed in ash here. This is I'd say the ceiling is about like 40 feet tall before we see any sort of columns, but it just seems to rise all the way up to the top of the tower that we saw. And in addition to that, we see a few interesting characters here. On the stone to the right of us, we see a caped knight with his hands, with his head in his hands, and looking very sorrowful and sort of hopeless. In front of us, we see a woman with a long, braided silver hair and a long black robe, just staring into this cold, empty bonfire here, as well as a man with no legs and a torn sort of kilt, just rocking on a very comfortable-looking homemade royal armchair with a golden crown half falling off of his burnt-looking cadaver. And then in the corner, we can hear the smashing of hammer to stone as we see what looks to be a blacksmith, very muscularly built with a long white wiry beard just hammering away at weapons that he's crafting. And to the right, we see a velvet red-robed elderly woman shaking in an armchair with large bags of who knows what surrounding her. But nobody notices or acknowledges our entrance into this area yet. So all is quiet.
I'm gonna walk in. Enid's gonna walk in and walk over to this knight.
Charles gonna check out the fire, the cold fire.
Hedges is coming up behind Enid and mutters, maybe some time for some answers.
I'm going to look over one of the giant thrones.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do this one more time, so we can go ahead and loop this. Okay. Cool. All right. So first, we're gonna go to this caped warrior with the chainmail under what would be his helm, but it's just sort of chainmail covering his face and a long red royal-looking cape. He's got a claymore on his back, and he has silver full-plate armor. Einith approaching him, he does not look up to greet you at all, but you can tell that he notices you approaching him, and he sort of murmurs to himself, speaking to you. Ah, more quivering ash roused from the sleep of death. That slave knight guided you here, did he not? Uncle Gale, I believe he calls himself. Well, you're not the first.
Who else has came then?
What did Anya say?
Who else has came before us then? Gives me conniptions.
Fuck off. He would look up to you and he would say, many quite like yourself. Many who have sought the Lords, as I'm assuming you have now, who have fallen on their journey. I myself am not searching really for anything anymore. I admit, I ran here. Cowardly. This is my shelter now, and if you wish not to face the hardships before you of that dreadful kingdom, I suggest you be smart and take this place as a shelter of your own.
Do I recognize his armor or anything like that?
Ooh, I would say yes, immediately. You would recognize that this is the armor given to warriors of the Watchdogs of Farron.
So you ran then, did you?
Would you mention at all recognizing his armor, or would you keep that to yourself?
Well, knowing that he's a deserter right off the bat, I probably would not mention it, since he mentioned that already to me. Deserting isn't looked upon very well within the Watchdogs.
Right. He would say, yes. In these times, I did. I protected my life above all else. For what else is there that I have left? My lords, my fellow peers, they all turned on me. They all became consumed by the very thing we swore to protect. I would not allow that happen to myself, so yes, I ran to the shrine. I regret it. I'm not proud of it, but there's really nothing more I could have done.
Troubling news indeed.
And we'll go ahead and we'll move on to somebody else who goes ahead and searches for other things. Who was it, Jennifer, that was going to approach this woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to approach her and... Hi. Hello, good lady. What is this place?
She raises her head from her eyeless gaze at this cold bonfire. She turns to look at you, and you see a beautifully crafted silver crown that seems to just only cover her eyes. And you can see sort of a swirling darkness of fog beneath it, where her eyes would be. She turns to you and she says, this is the shrine. This is the Firelink Shrine. For those who wish to find themselves away from the darkness of this world, and those who wish to pursue the lords that have created such corrupted darkness. Which are you? Are you one searching for shelter, or are you one searching for lordship?
I'm actually looking for a guy in black armor. Have you seen him? Has he wandered through here at any time?
We all are searching for something or someone, are we not? But no, of those who serve the knights that I assume your armor portrays you have served, you are the only one. The rest of them seem to have died off during the First Age. I am
Sad
sorry.
news.
Can Hedges overhear her?
Yes.
He's gonna walk up by Jonathan and listen more intently.
She would go ahead and continue on and say, as I have said, we have all lost something dear to us. Whether it be a person or an old home that has caved in from time itself. All of us here have nothing left, except the shrine and hope of shelter. But there are some that come here who seek lordship, who seek change to this dying, quivering age, fearful of the light and the fire. I sense ash on you. If you are one of these who seek to change the dismal way of the world and time as it is now, there is a way, and I sense that you too have the old Iudex's coiled sword on you. Is that true?
I pulled a sword out of a giant statue that then whacked me in the face with a halberd. Could that be what you're speaking of?
It is. And she seems to have no sense of humor, really, at all. Doesn't understand the sarcasm or anything of the sort. And she would say, yes, indeed, you are Ash. You are more Ash that has come to seek the new way of things, the new era. You have a responsibility carrying that sword. Although you do still have a choice. If you wish, you may call this place your home until the end of time, which we are all waiting for. Or you may use it to enact this responsibility gifted to you, to find a way to reignite the quivering, dying light. If you wish to learn more about this new time and this new age that we wish to bring upon ourselves, one of the Lords of Cinder remains, bloodless before me. And she points her hand at the resting corpse in this armchair. And she says, this is the last of the Lords of Cinder who have not abandoned their thrones. If you do indeed wish to enact this responsibility upon yourselves, he may be able to bless you. Otherwise, I grant you rest from your long death and long journey.
Hedges cuts in rudely and says, Yeah, well, we've been in the ground long enough, methinks. It's time for some answers and some action. Thank you kindly. And walks over to the, he gestured to the legless cadaver with the kilt.
She named him Ludleth. Said his name.
Alright. He says, oh hey, how are you, High Tower N1? And snickers to himself. And says, So, time for some answers. I've been led around by the nose by, well, I don't know, this Uncle Gale fellow. Found myself a nice new axe and some good friends, but what the hell is this? Why am I here? Why aren't I napping underground? What's to do?
Well, if you wish to bury yourself back underground, that is a thing you may still be able to do. You may choose to go hollow if you wish.
Hedges snorts and says, Well, I'm up now, so might as well be doing. And what is it that I'm supposed to be doing?
You have been called upon by the old lords in this time of you being raised from your graves. There is something that is expected of you, that was expected of that warrior that you see drowning in his own sorrow on those stone steps. But many people who are given this responsibility quiver at it and hide. Are you someone to quiver and hide at responsibility given to you?
Hedges lifts his visor and just raises a single eyebrow at him and doesn't answer.
If you continue to listen to me, then perhaps not. We all have a responsibility here, centered at a single purpose, and that is to end or to regain a dying age. Look around you. This is not the world that you were in when you once lived. This is a world that is fading away, and for one reason alone, because the lords of this land refuse to let this world die. They have awoken, much as you have, because they were afraid. They were afraid that the age of fire would give way to age of man, your age. Take what is rightfully yours if you wish, or cower, as the rest of us have.
He says, I'm not sure if this be life or unlife or death or undeath, but all I know is that to sit with your head in your hands, he looks derisively over at the knight over on these stairs, says, is worse to be a quivering maiden. No, we have a job to do, methinks, and it best be getting to it. So, I guess to see these lords then, huh?
If you wish to take up the mantle, your firekeeper has been granted to you to be your servant, and she will guide you towards your journey. Yes.
He says, I've heard this firekeeper before. Where is she?
Directly behind you, clever one.
While this is going on, Jarnafelt has taken the coiled sword out and he's kind of examining it while Ludleth and Hedges talk.
The firekeeper would immediately twist her head to face you and say, "The coiled sword. Yes. This is the one item granted to Ash if they wish to seek these embers. This land is far away from the land of Lordran, the land of gods and kings, where the last lords themselves hide and cower in their dying age. This is a symbol of your very first steps to gain your Age of Darkness back. If you wish to pursue it, you will insert this coiled sword into this cold bonfire."
Jarnafelt's going to look at Hedges and... is it Engi?
Inyith, yeah.
Enyith.
Or Inyith.
Oh yeah.
Enyith, and just kind of shrug and almost look like he's looking for some... What do they want to do?
Hedges gives him a gap-toothed grin and says, How about it, laddie?
Before
Come this far.
before Jarnafelt makes his decision, Ludleth would look to Hedges once more, rocking in his armchair, and say, "I see that you have the halberd of our champion on you. Not working quite as intended, is it?"
He looks at it and says, old slither slice on me back, eh? And
Yes.
he takes it off and says, no, not exactly. Do you have some ideas over there, Rocker?
You being a very abrasive warrior, very much wanting action and combat on your journey, I'm assuming you might appreciate it working as intended, and there is a way, which I once possessed until the magic was forcefully taken from my throne. It is called a transposing kiln that I and my followers had brought from our land of Coland. But there is a faction within this transposing lands that required this magic for more devious endeavors than we do. They call themselves the Mound Makers. If you find yourself in the land of Lordran, and find yourself peering over the broken bridge of Lothric Castle, and you wish to bring magic and power once again to the weapons that you take from these lords, find this transposing kiln. Find these mound makers. They will have what you seek.
Hedges says, I appreciate this guidance of yours. To give myself a more powerful way to forge forth on this quest, as well as take something away from those who would seek to use its magic ill, sounds like a fitting task indeed. And for the first time, he gives the Lord a salute and a bow and says, I appreciate you.
He would say, but be warned, they are a very dangerous and brutal faction indeed. Not much different than the Hollows that wish to slice up and end the lives of the undeath in the undead settlement itself. It's almost as if they aren't even human, the way that they so disgustingly tear apart at their foes.
He Says, well, then people haven't changed much since I've been in the ground.
I suppose not. Before your journey, if you wish, we do have shrined handmaids and a blacksmith, Andre here, who has followed us since the First Age. They would be kind enough to help you on your journey.
Jarnafeld's,
Go ahead, what?
Jarnafeld's ears perk up, like his head turns up when Ludless says the First Age, and he's going to drop the coiled sword and go over to Andre.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, he'll have some questions for him whenever the time is right.
Sure. So blacksmith Andre over here, this muscular senior of a man with his long wiry beard, is just hammering away at these weapons that he's forging. And as you approach, he raises an eyebrow and looks to you and says, "Aye, it's been a while indeed since I last saw that armor. Who are you?"
I am Jarnafelt of the Knights of Baranike.
Yes.
I would ask you if you have seen any more of my people.
Well, unfortunately, most of them died off over in Sen's fortress and in the land of Lordran in the First Age. But I have heard whispers that there are some who remain and who continue to wander through the land of Lordran.
Have you
But
heard
I
of
have not
Tarkus?
seen any with my own eyes.
Thank you, good man. I'm assuming that he just upgrades weapons. I can't buy weapons and stuff from him.
He'll go and he'll let you know, and he'll say, on your journey, you being part of this undead ash that wish to end the lives of the lords, I would be willing to reinforce your weapons to make you a more powerful warrior heading toward them. Ooh, who'd we lose? Did we lose anyone?
I think Groovy dropped out.
Oh, Groove drop. Okay. So pretty much what he's saying to you is, well, he'll go ahead and tell you, if you find any Titanite on your journey, bring them back to the shrine, and I will make your weapons and armor more powerful for you, as well as some gems that may be lying around of various elements. Bringing them back to me may imbue your weapons with fire, lightning, radiance, whatever it is you desire.
Thank you, good sir. Would you know anywhere in the vicinity that I could purchase some heavy plate? I don't feel right in this chainmail.
Our shrine handmaid provides many weapons and armor. If you want to go over to her cackling old body, I'm sure she could help you indeed.
Thank you, sir. And off I go.
And then he would wish you one last good luck in finding your old companions of the First Age. Jarnafelt traveling over to the handmaid. I'll give anyone an opportunity for anything they want to do before we move on to that. Is anyone else wanting to talk to?
I would go and pick up that coin he dropped and walk it over to Hedges and say,
Maybe you had better hold on to that. He seems preoccupied.
Hedges smiles and stows it, gives her a appreciative look, and follows over. Hedges is also interested in acquiring extra provisions and armors.
Okay, so we head over to this shrine handmaid in her robed vestiges that are just covered in dirt and sort of ratty. And she is also rocking in a more decrepit rocking chair and cackles and says, "More ash, it seems. Yes, what is it you want? I have plenty to sell."
Heavy plate, please. Black, if you've got it.
So, me and Zach over here have been talking about this for a little bit of time. I am not going to give you the correct price for full plate, considering I was a big dumb boy and gave Hedges full plate for 10 gold. So if you want to buy full plate for 10 souls, you may also do so.
Ooh, it's because I'm so handsome. That's why.
So I would also like to purchase a set of full plate for 10 gold.
You know what? You know what I'm going to do here? Okay, so how much gold does everybody have right now?
765.
Okay, give me a second here. How much?
764, I thought.
Okay.
I got 10 souls.
No, you got 750 more. Get out of here.
I have 783.
Okay, cool. Give me just 1 second, because I think I am definitely going to take out of your soul's inventory for this full plate. Okay. Let's see. But obviously not the 1500 because
I struck an accord. 10 souls is 10 souls.
The law
Fuck you.
works on precedence, doesn't
Hey
it?
man, I'm over here like Davy Jones. 10 souls. That's it.
okay. I am going to take. I'm going to be generous even still, because I goofed and I don't want you to get the bad end of it. But I will take 250 souls from anyone with full plate.
You mean for my second set?
You got a second set?
For 250 souls, I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a set of full plate too.
Okay, then that'll be full plate's going to be 250, unless you want to try to bargain.
Right, so could we just do the bargain price since I did do it and just do it 125?
Sure.
Okay.
So Hedges will get the 125. And then Jarnafelt, you would be asked for the 250 unless you want to bargain it down.
Sure, I'll bargain. Do I have to like verbally bargain, or do I do a roll?
Yeah, that would be a roll. That would be the you can
Persuasion?
do persuasion or intimidation or deception, whatever you would say.
Old ladies don't get intimidated.
They don't, especially not in Dark Souls 2.
Animal
I'll try to
handling,
persuade.
whip it out.
Okay, so with a persuasion of 17, you're able to pull on her, empathetic strings, being an undead Ash who is seeking his companions and, is feeling a little lost in the world, and she'll say, all right, 125 souls for you.
Done. And
as far as what pretty much she's going to sell is all the base weapons and armor. So anything that you can find in adventuring gear and equipment, as far as armor, equipment packs, tools, weapons, that kind of stuff she'll sell. But she will also be selling fire bombs.
just because I'm kind of new at Roll20, do I
Sure.
search in the compendium to get the plate armor and then
Yep.
drop it into my
Into
mine?
your equipment, you got it.
Right on.
Perfect.
Hedges is gonna see if she has a shield, although he knows he won't find much use for it yet. Supposedly encountering this kiln, wherever that is, because he has no idea where the actual area is located, unless he's familiar with it. Knows he'll need a shield eventually.
So she will have shields, but she'll also have some special shields. She says, I can give you a regular shield, or I can give you a shield from some of the more respectable adventurers that have fallen outside of our doors. I can give you a petting shield. And she brings out a white shield with a blue cross on it. And in the right corner of that blue cross is a standing dragon. And she says, with this shield you might be able to parry your foes, but with an extra price, of course.
And so he says, tell me more about this shield. What do I know about a shield of parrying?
It is pretty much a shield that has the... So, do you know parry? Unless it might just be a monster trait. I don't even think it might not be a thing that
So there's a maneuver that's like parry.
Okay.
Let me pull it up real quick.
So parry, as far as a monster trait, which is what I'm going to do, is let me go ahead and grab this real quick. It's a reaction where you can add 2 to your AC against one melee attack that would hit you, and I would only do it once per turn. So I would, I'll go ahead and write that in the magic items description if that's something that you would end up buying, but it is definitely going to be a little expensive since it gives you, a free parrying ability as well as a shield on top of it.
Right, so Hedges says, that's keen. About how many, well, I guess you don't want coins. Souls be the currency
Not
of the
at
day.
all. Coins have long lost that value.
He says, yes, well then, souls. How many souls?
500.
500. Well, I heard... He says he starts rummaging around in his coin purse again, realizing that he doesn't go there, and he says, well, I have 2 for you. 200 that be, and he laughs.
That's not enough, sir. Have you gone hollow already?
He nods and says, aye, mightn't be I have. Well, how much
Enith,
for a
hearing
regular-
this, starts glaring at you.
He doesn't pay her any mind. In fact, just kind of absently pats her head as he continues to barter. Knowing that's
bumps her with
probably
her
gonna...
stick.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to roll to persuade?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Can I use athletics and start flexing on her? Giving her the little, who's your hero?
Okay, so what we're going to do for that then is there's going to be difficulty for that. And if you pass that, then you can go ahead and have advantage on your persuasion.
Okay, what do I gotta do to pass? What do I gotta
Roll athletics.
Kablam!
Yes. Okay.
Just popping packs.
Right. Give her the old, Terry
She
Crews.
would begin chuckling, a little embarrassed, and say, "Ooh, a fine-looking fellow indeed. Give me your price." And go ahead and roll advantage. Persuasion.
Ooh, yeah. So he's gonna go, well, 200 souls it be then. Aye, sweetheart?
I would agree if there was something that you could give me in return. Other than that, I would be okay with bringing it down 200 to 300 gold. 300 souls.
And,
But what do you have to give me to add to my collection?
Hearing that you're only 100 souls off, Enith would pull out 100 souls and cover the difference.
And Hedges beams at her and says, remind me not to let you get squashed by any more walking statues.
I'd really appreciate that. Although I am going to buy a nice set of armor here.
And he nods and says, wise.
She's like, all right, go ahead and have your parrying shield. I'm sure it will not help you in the long run, but here's to hoping.
He smiles at her beamingly and transfers over the souls via a kiss on the hand.
Ooh. She is very okay with this. It seems that I still have blood in my body.
And he wiggles his elbows and says, mine too.
That was
What just fucking happened?
That's awesome. Okay.
Oh my god.
So let me go ahead and show you... Well, actually, let me just go ahead and write down in our unique magic items parrying shield. And then you can go ahead and do that whenever you want. Or look at that whenever you want.
Awesome.
Let me look at that. Let me just go ahead and copy and paste this description here. Okay. Once per turn. Add to your. I would hit. Do so.
Now-
Yes.
So, question about that: will that be able to stack if, like, let's say he took the parry feature from the Battle Master?
Yep, it would.
Hot dog.
All right, so there's your parrying shield.
Thank you, sir.
I would say actually what you would do is use. So if
You cut out there. Use what?
either or. So if you end up having Battle Master,
Attempting to parry with a weapon instead of the shield.
right? So if you have, you would probably only buy it if you could stack it, right?
Right. There wouldn't be much.
Oh,
use
okay,
for
yeah.
it.
Then I'll just let you stack that then.
Thank you. I mean,
It's not re-
besides with my polearm master, I'm gonna be so reaction conflicted anyways. Not gonna use it
Yeah.
all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
That's kind of what I was gonna say too. That really clogs up reaction economy.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
so I would
I'm
totally
gonna-
just let
yeah.
you use both then.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
Enith would just begin rattling off spell components that she needs.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and see if I can find specific prices. If not, ooh, spreadsheet. I love fucking D&D spreadsheets. Fucking makes my.
And I'm also gonna buy a set of full plate for $250.
Oh, cool. And then could you give me a reminder again of
What
the
spell
components
components
your
I need?
character-
Okay, yeah. So I need 10 gold worth of charcoal. I need incense, and I need herbs. I need. That's basically it for right now.
Okay, 10 gold charcoal. So then she would go ahead and ask for 30 souls for that then.
Okay, I would ask for it like 3 times. Though
3 times
So-
what?
I want 3 times the amount. Like, so I want like 90 souls worth of it.
Were you wanting to try to bring that price down?
I am not a very charismatic swamp witch, so
Okay.
I am not
If
even
that's
gonna.
something your character wouldn't do, then
No.
okay, that would be 90 souls then.
Oh, yes.
Our fucking my NPC and your character are competing for Swamp Witch voice right now, but it's okay. Init's winning, so don't worry about it.
Okay, so I'm immediately after getting those components gonna go to this like brazier right here. I'm guessing that's what it is.
It's a torch.
God damn it! Is there a brass brazier anywhere? Does she have one? Can I buy that?
Yeah, you can buy it. There'll be another time.
All right, I'm gonna light a brass brazier and I'm gonna throw all my ingredients in it and I'm gonna begin ritually casting Find Familiar.
Dope. Okay, let's see here. And what kind of familiar would you be looking for?
She has a crab.
Oh,
Or she does.
let's see. I think I actually have, because I've got a big ass token database that I've put together. So I actually think I do have a crab for you. Go
Oh,
ahead.
baby.
Let me go ahead and find that. I think it's a giant crab, but we can go ahead and
Oh yeah, just shrink her down.
just shrink her on down.
Holding a knife.
Okay. So directly before you, this brass brazier over here, you see the wisps of blue spiritual tendrils, translucent tendrils, sort of poke out of the cracks in the ground, and they begin to form a solid form in the shape of a Fahrenkeep swamp crab. And it click-clacks its claws and sits down waiting for your command.
Ooh, I just have it crawl up onto my shoulder.
Alright. So you now have control over your familiar.
Okay, and then just so you know, it isn't actually a medium-sized crab. It is actually
It's a small one.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
There you go.
yeah, thank you.
Let me see if I can find some
They
spirit.
might even be tiny. Let me look it up in the
I
compendium.
think
real
they're
quick.
tiny.
Yeah, I think they're tiny.
That's lame. I'll make him small. He's a fucking fair and keep swamp crab. He's small.
War crab.
But yeah, that's fine. He can be small.
I'm totally okay with making him small. Unfortunately, there is no artwork of ghost crabs.
Ghost crabs.
You just don't.
Let me see if I can find tiny fair and keep crab art. Nah, that's fine. This is good looking little dude. You have a name for him?
Yeah, his name is Clamps.
Clams?
Clamps with a P.
Okay, cool. Clamps is at your service.
Clamps!
Yeah, he's gonna give him the clamps.
Like that robot from Futurama.
He-
Clamps.
You mean you
Yeah,
use
that's what-
clamps that I try and use at every single opportunity? You're a freaking genius!
Yeah, that's
Go
exactly
ahead,
what
I'm
he's named
just
after.
curious here. So it's just a CR. Is it a CR0 crab?
Do you want me to like link the?
I've got it
I don't know
right
if I
here.
can. Yeah, it's the CR0 crab.
So-
Yeah, the tiny
2 HP, 11 AC.
stealth +2.
Yeah, cool. So it's just right out of the monster manual. Awesome.
Yep. And I have the sheet as well, so and I believe I can make. No, I can't make rolls from it because I'm not the DM. But
Better get him to
Um,
area sheet.
Yeah, I'll make rolls for him.
okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm fine with you making rolls for your own crab. That's cool.
Yay!
So, Firelink, the Firelink Shrine Firekeeper, would ask all of you, now that we have prepared ourselves for the journey ahead, are we ready to continue on to the land of Lord? Or is anyone else wanting to purchase anything or talk to the sad deserter anymore?
I'm immediately gonna go over to Yarnfelt and clamps.
You're gonna go what?
Go over to Yarnfelt and start showing him clamps.
Dope.
And I'm gonna introduce him to clamps. I'm gonna introduce the whole party to clamps.
Head just
Jonah
walks
felt-
past the knight like he doesn't exist and goes and meets clamps.
Jarnfeld is very excited about Clamps. He's an armored animal, which that cooks Jarnfeld's chicken right there.
Oh yeah, and he has clamps.
Yeah.
Where's Yumi in all this? I can't see your token.
I got ignored.
She's brooding in the corner.
Oh shit, okay. What is it that Yumi would be doing in this instance?
When we
Were
first
you
came
wanting
in
to search
here,
for any, or acquire any items or anything?
I just wanted to look over the throne. When
Okay.
We first came in here.
Sorry about that. What were you trying to figure out about it?
What's so special about it and why there were 4?
Okay, cool. Do you want to make an investigation roll on it?
Let me pull up my sheet.
Okay. Sorry that you got kind of left out. I had my map sort of zoomed in, and I didn't see where you went on the screen.
Half of my
Um,
roll was good.
All right, so 7 of investigation. I would say that just from pure sight of it, without really gaining any more knowledge on it, you could see plaques below these thrones, and you would see that they are large size, so they would hold whoever would be sitting on them, large-sized humanoids. One of them is definitely huge size class, and there has been room made in the stone to hold it.
Alright.
Let me go ahead and give you a description of what you read. So the one directly in front of you would say Aldrich, Saint of the Deep. And then the one to your right would say Yorm the Giant, ruler of the profaned capital.
A starting point at the very least.
Yeah. So we can assume that these are the thrones of these Lords of Cinder that the Firekeeper and Bloodlith of Corland were talking about. And right now, if you guys want to write it down in your notes, unless you think you would just remember, Ludlith did give us sort of a little side quest. That if we do find our way in the undead settlement, and if we did want to use the magic of the powerful weapons we acquire from the heirs of fire that we encounter, or the lords of sinner we encounter, we're going to have to hunt down that transposing kiln from its stealers, the mound makers.
Jarnafelt's gonna be like looking around on the floor, looking for the coiled sword. Like, I know I left it here somewhere. Where did it go?
Oh man. Didn't even need to make a sleight of hand check.
Hedges is going to try and sleight of hand it back onto him as he's looking around.
Go for it. Let's make that roll.
Whoop!
Yeah.
I guess he
Okay,
does
so
it.
you just sort of slide it on the back of his back without him noticing.
And Hedges, like, taps him on the shoulder annoyed and says, "What are you doing, lad?" and just points right at it.
Jarnafelt's gonna sort of do a double take, and then turn around and kind of stare hard at Hedges, like he doesn't know what happened, but he knows something happened.
He says, "Ah, well, you're welcome then." And turning away, he winks at the crab and the witch.
I guess he will. Jarnafelt will take the sword out, and I guess I can't remember if did the firekeeper tell me to stick it in the fire already.
He did.
Okay, I will say, are you all ready?
I think so. Lead the way, friend.
I'm not getting any younger.
Say that again.
Would Yumi try to investigate the other two? I would let you do a second investigation roll if you went to the other two thrones.
We got one location off of one of the thrones, so I say we head there first.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so would you want to go ahead and inform your party what you learned from these plaques?
Let me ask Ludlith where the profane capital is.
Okay. So, you go ahead and you let him know that you've been investigating these mysterious stone decrepit thrones. And ask that, and he would say, "The profaned capital is very far away from here indeed. Below Lothric Castle, past the undead settlement, past Ferren Keep, you will find the profaned capital below the new location of the transitionary lands of Anor, which have found their way in the Irithul of the Boreal Valley. Now controlled by a very dangerous pontiff indeed, and protected by his disgusting and obedient beasts. Eventually you will make your way there indeed if you survive your journey. But for now, I suggest taking it one step at a time."
He
Very
says,
well. Thank
and
you all the same.
Hedges,
What was that? I heard two voices at the same time.
Hedges chirps up after Yumi spoke and said, "And how close be these keepers of the transposen kiln?"
And what be these keepers?
How close are the keepers of the transposen kiln, the mound keepers?
Right below the broken bridge of Lothric Castle. The bridge that had been destroyed to prevent further spread of this curse of man. You will find the curse very plentiful below Lothric Castle indeed, and with a very strong concentration among the mound makers. They will be hiding, unless you give them a reason to come out from their cowardly holes in the ground to seek what you claim.
And Hedges nods and looks about and says, "Well, I'm not sure where we'd be going, but that might be a place to be at some point."
Indeed. Now, go ahead and trot along to Lothric Castle.
Jarnafelt will stick the coiled sword in the fire.
Okay. as you push the coiled sword into the ash and the human bones that pile in the bonfire, immediately the bonfire begins to erupt. And it erupts into a large pillar of flame that is not hot. It doesn't burn. In fact, it's quite cold. And it is also magnetized with the souls, beckoning you to enter its embers. Good luck on your journey, the Shrine Keeper would say, and may the gods be with you.
Shall we be off then?
Let's go.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So we all venture into this bonfire, and one after the other, everybody who enters it becomes consumed by the flames and disappears into a transitionary land. You all feel darkness and cold as you transition to wherever it is that you are going. You see flashes in your travel of a foreign land, of a land that you feel your ancestors before you and those who find themselves in the arms of your covenant have all made their pilgrimage toward. And we eventually find ourselves seeing daylight once again and feeling cold cobblestone below our feet. And we feel we have traveled a very long distance indeed. Go ahead and get our ambiance going again. Okay. And we go ahead and we travel out of the pillar of flame that is this bonfire. And it seems that we have happened into a large, very beautiful chapel. As the bonfire, it is a beautiful marble chapel. There is a long royal red carpet that leads to church double doors, cornered at the top and with intricate designs. And we also see a stained glass, colorful church window above these heavy double doors. And behind us is a statue of what looks like a motherly figure in robes who is holding a swaddling, fragile child in her arms that she's looking down at.
I was gonna inspect the statue.
What were you trying to learn about it? So I can figure out what kind of roll you wanted to make.
Just anything, really. Maybe about the baby, the fragile baby.
Maybe history?
Sure.
Okay. You see this roll here? 13. I would say just from the sight of it, this child looks sickly, very thin. For a child this young, shockingly thin. Other than its history, it seems to be of very royal significance. But with the 13, you wouldn't be able to learn anything past that.
Okay.
No medding! Does anyone else want to investigate it, or were we wanting to continue forward?
Yeah, Hedges wants to. Throw another history down.
Go for it, yep.
Feels like a 4. Ooh, close.
Same thing, except for knowing it's of royalty, just this is a shockingly sickly child. Einith, as you... Whoa, no, oh, fucking wait a second here.
Okay.
Einith, as you continue forward, you begin to hear heavy footsteps coming from this wooden heavy door back here, as well as the crashing of chainmail and full plate armor coming toward this door, approaching and getting louder.
I telepathically tell Clamps to go hide behind the pillar.
Okay. And you're able to move him still, right? Yep, okay, cool. Do you tell the rest of the party about this, or what's happening?
Yeah, I immediately shout back.
I think we have company.
Hedges walks
You
out
guys
his
see a
new
shadow
halberd,
below the door.
goes up
What's
there.
going on?
I said Hedges whips out his new halberd and steps in front of her if he can make it up there.
Yeah, I'll give you guys pretty much one action right now. What do you guys all want?
I'm going
Mage armor.
to take
there.
cover behind this pillar and ready my short bow to shoot at the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna ready my shield and sword, and yeah, stand out front, I guess.
What do I got
Okay.
in front of me here? Is that like a partial cover thing?
Yeah, that'd be
Broken
just
juice.
partial cover.
Great, that's where I am.
Okay, so you guys patiently or impatiently await the approach of this heavily armored figure. When finally the heavy wood open, and before us we see a 8-foot tall knight in steel full plate with a very large heavy shield with an intricate gold and red design atop it, and we see what looks like a robed, shriveled, hollow priest carrying some sort of chime in its hands. And this knight, seeing all of you here, immediately tenses up, gets in fighting stance, raises its claymore, and we can go ahead and roll initiative.
Since my action was ready, do I get one attack?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I'm going to attack the priest, since I'm pretty sure that my arrow would just bounce off armor.
Okay, let me go ahead and write down combat order then. So 17,
initiative.
18, 10, 23. Okay.
Would that be advantage since it's a surprise attack?
Yeah.
24 to hit then.
Let me go ahead and... We don't know... Oh yeah, you still got the action prepared. Okay, let me go and finish turn order. And then let me go ahead and just get the enemies turn order ready for when it is their turn. Let's see. 5! Hooray. Okay. So that'd be a 24 to hit. And that is with your short bow. Yep, you go ahead and pierce the... what was it, the priest you
I
were
was shooting
attacking?
at the priest, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yep,
an
you
extra
pierced the
1d6
priest.
from the sneak attack.
Okay. Okay, so let me go ahead and get their HP ready.
Which one of those is from the sneak attack?
Oh, only one was supposed to be from the sneak attack. I just clicked short bow again because it was a d6.
But your short bow has
Sne-
+6.
Yes, your sneak attack
I
doesn't
know it
add your
doesn't
mod.
add anything. So 7 plus 1.
Okay. Okay, and the priest reels back in pain and screeches. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get to our regular turn order, which would be Yumi again.
I'm gonna shoot off another arrow.
Okay. Fourth
22.
stack. That is a hit.
7 damage.
Okay.
You get your sneak attack again.
I do? Alright.
Yeah, they haven't acted in combat yet.
Shit.
7 plus 6.
Another
Okay,
cool
this,
thing is you can also get your sneak attack action.
You cut out what?
You can get your sneak attack on your reactions as well. Because it's not your turn. So it counts as another sneak attack.
Okay, this priest is already heavily injured, shaking and trying to maintain its balance. So next up is going. Well, actually, we're going to give him, the priest, his own initiative as well, instead of piling them together.
Rolls even.
Nice. Fucking beautiful. Wow.
I shot him too good.
This is great. Okay.
He used to be an adventurer until he took that arrow to me.
Yeah.
Great.
And the other knee.
Okay, Jarnfelt, go for it.
I'm gonna move right up on the priest
Okay.
and take a swing with my one-handed long sword.
All right. That is a miss.
Fuck.
You swing right over his head.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to roll initiative for Glenn.
you're fine. I'm gonna just say that you guys can attack together.
Well, he doesn't attack, but
Oh, okay, all right. Well, actually, yeah. Go ahead and roll for him since he's gonna have a much lower bonus to that. I assume, at least.
I don't know. Actually, he might have this. No, he doesn't.
Let me see.
It's 0.
6. All right. He is gonna go after. Okay. And then next up is going to be Hedges.
Alright, I'm gonna move right up, and I'm also going to attack the priest.
Oh, nice. Probably a good idea.
Alright.
Swing right over the head.
Alright, with the halberd butt.
All right. Yep, that's a hit.
I'm gonna re-roll that. Alright, sweet.
All
Meant to be.
right. You're able to crack his skull open, but he has survived with 1 HP.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and action surge just to make sure he doesn't get off anything. And,
Yep, that's a hit.
can't
All right.
re-roll
He
that.
go ahead and slash him in two, and he lies dead on the floor.
And as he does that, he says, "By the way, my name's Hedges Noon. Pleasure to meet you."
All right. Next up is Inyith.
I am going to stand right where I'm at and at the remaining one, and I whiff,
All right, you do.
and that'll be my. turn.
Also, you probably wouldn't be able to. Well, actually, you would be able to see him. He's probably 2 feet taller than Hedges, so that's fine.
Yeah, and I ignore half and quarters cover with all
Okay.
my ranged spell attacks. Here, I'll link the feet, and then yeah, I'm done.
Cool. All right. Next up is the Lothric Knight, who is. Let's see what he wants to do here. He is. Let's see. Probably gonna try to. Well, he's gonna hit you with his 2 greatsword attacks. Is what he's gonna try to do, and he's able to wield this greatsword with one hand.
Who's
So, yeah, he's gonna make 2 attacks. First one is going to whiff and swing over you, and the second one is gonna whiff. And next up is your crab.
My crab remains hidden.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll give him a little. Well, that's a sleepy sleep symbol. I will.
Yeah,
give
he's
him-
stealth. He gets ready to pound.
Does he get bonuses to sneak attack and deal double damage and like 4d6 poison damage like an assassin?
I think if he studies a target for 1 minute, he can make a melee attack on them, and then they have to make a saving throw. If they fail, they just die.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Clavicus Vial. I like
Yep.
it. Actually, that would be the Razor. Shit, what was his name?
Occam.
That actually was like a 3.5 assassin feature back in the day.
Oh yeah, and then there was coup de grace on top too.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Yumi. You guys have effectively trapped this Lothric Knight in this poorly crafted map to trap him in the doorway.
gonna plink. Aw.
Wait, how are you able to attack him with your short sword?
That was the wrong thing. I was trying to
Oh,
use
okay,
the
okay.
They're right above each other.
It should have the same bonus either way.
Yeah, they're all plus
Okay.
6.
Cool. Yeah, so the arrow cracks on the cobblestone in half. And then go ahead, Jarnfelt.
I'm gonna try to stabbity stab him with the one-handed longsword. And a miss.
It bounces off his large shield.
This guy's just impenetrable.
Hedges. See if you guys can team up on this guy.
Yeah, here comes the big old two-handed whapper. There it is.
It bounces off his shield.
All right, Head just runs away. No, just kidding.
Probably. Go ahead, Anya.
Oh, hold on. Let me use this halberd button. Miss with this too, real quick.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that is going to be a hit. You're able to hit him with the butt of his 3 blocks.
All right, fantastic.
Okay.
8.
So-
Okay, and he lets out a grunt and staggers backwards.
Oh,
Just a
that's
tiny
better.
bit. And next
Probably
up will be... Oh, what?
I probably shouldn't use any more spell slots on this.
Probably. You've got a long way to go. Go ahead, Anya.
I'll just throw a firebolt.
All right. He is going to raise his shield to... Well, actually, never mind. That has to be a melee attack. You're able to hit him with that firebolt.
8 fire damage.
All right, and let's see if we have... Ooh, it's actually... You see, it doesn't seem to affect him very much, and it's actually going to deal 4 fire damage.
4 fire damage.
Mm-hmm. All right, and the knight is going to go ahead and take 2 more claymore swings. One at Jarnfelt and one at Hedges. So let's see what we got here. That is not a hit. Okay. And then Hedges. That is going to be a hit.
Using
He
his...
gets protection from me. Or do I have to say that I use that?
You use your reaction to do it.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm gonna use protection so he gets disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crit's the next one.
Ooh,
All right.
man. Yes.
All right, big whiff. And I would have these guys be maneuvers pretty trapped. So Crab's gonna hide, I'm assuming.
He's moving in for the kill.
Okay.
That's what we're waiting for. We got him trapped in the door. We're waiting for the crab.
Does Crab want to stealth that out?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Give him the crude clamp.
I will say, I'll just, oh fucking hell, that was
Five
some
on a stealth,
loud
5 on a stealth
litter
roll.
clattering of his claws on the ground. The knight noses a fair and keep Crab in his, but doesn't really seem to give a single shit.
I was gonna say, dude, if he killed clams, I would rage.
Next up would be you.
Let's see here.
There's a miss. Pierces his knight shield, and it now has an arrow. Good, Jarnfelt.
Yep, another swing with the longsword. Miss.
Bounces on his shield.
You hate to see it.
Hedges. Alright, the halberd butt is going to go ahead and for 7 more bludgeoning. Okay, and then next up is going to be Einith. Oh shit.
Ray of Frost.
And let's see if he's got any vulnerabilities to that. He does, so whatever is going to be double damage.
So 24 damage.
Jesus fuck. Why?
Yes, dude.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get this calculator out again.
And
Shit.
I know it's really relevant. His speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then next up is going to be the knight. He is going to take a, let's see, sort of a bonus. He's going to take a bonus action, and he's going to go ahead and his claymore here, which is going to be a great sword. And you see the great sword begin to glow with radiant light, blinding radiant light. And he's going to try to hit Hedges now twice, since Hedges is right directly in his path. That is a miss, and I think that is a hit. Yep.
Unless
Okay.
someone throws out a shield.
Yeah.
Do I have more than one reaction? I can.
You get one reaction per turn.
But it's a new turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
so
throw
is he
the
gonna...
shield out.
Okay. Wait, are you talking about the parrying shield?
No, he's
Nope.
just
Mark.
using his protection fighting style.
Okay, cool. So is he gonna get disadvantage, or does his AC increase?
Disadvantage.
Okay. So let's go and roll that again, then.
Ooh.
Nice!
Is it?
Joe!
Is it?
Okay. So let's see how much damage you take from this Radiant Greatsword. So you're initially going to take 9 slashing damage,
Love it.
and then you are going to take 7 radiant damage.
Okay.
And next up's the crab.
He begins to... Well, can he stealth again?
Go for it.
Okay. 7. He moves in, unbeknownst that he is seeing.
Oh shit. Okay, go ahead, Yumi.
Let's
I
get it
really
on.
wish this knight wasn't trapped, but that's okay.
Hey!
Alright, yep, you go ahead and you got it. It's a
Get an
good
extra
straight bow attack right through his armor.
Attacks if there's someone within 5 feet.
Okay. Alright. Piercing damage right in his rib. He begins to fall down to one knee, and he is very heavily damaged. And you deal an additional 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this guy is definitely bleeding heavily and is very weak. So go ahead, Jarnfelt.
If he wasn't so weak, I'd cast Lay on Hands, but I'm confident. I will try to hit him. Fuck.
Good miss. Bounce off the shield.
Yeah.
Alright. Hedges.
Go ahead, just try to finish him off.
Hedges gives a grim smile and says, "Nice try, laddie." And he says, "Ah." Tries again.
That's a miss.
I didn't. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. I hit the wrong.
Slither slice.
Yeah, that was the wrong roll. Anyways, it was supposed to be that. Oh.
The Lothric Knight raises his shield and adds a parry to that attack. And that misses.
All right. Yeah, Hedges is just gonna go ahead and wait to die. Okay, I'll stay here.
Go ahead, Heinrich.
You still have movement. Oh, never mind. Fuck.
Sword is right above his head and causes frost and ice to hit the cobblestone wall.
Alright.
The knight is getting sick of being trapped and getting sick of your shit. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to try to knock you prone with a good swift kick to the torso.
Who? Sorry.
The Lothric Knight is going to try to kick Hedges in the torso and knock him prone. So let's see if he can do so.
This
Alright, that's a hit.
is
Is it a
Lothric!
strength contest for that?
Yeah, go ahead and... Well, you're going to make a strength save to not get knocked prone, so go ahead and do that.
He could just shove him too, and that's just he pushes him 5 feet. It's automatic.
Oh, is it automatic?
Yeah, if he's
With no
just trying to
saving
if he's just trying to shove him 5 feet, I'm pretty sure you can just shove someone 5 feet.
I would
It's
probably
still
prefer
contested
to
by a
try to do
strength
that.
check, isn't it?
I would go. I would want to look that up.
I still
Is it
lose it
a-
anyways, but
I'm not
Okay.
sure. I thought shove wasn't a strength check because it's not a grapple.
I think you have to grapple first.
right,
let me
you have
go-
to grapple and then you can shove as part of it. I'm not
Yeah, grapple and shove. So we'll go ahead and both make strength checks then. That'll be your 22. And then he'll go ahead and make his strength check. Which is a 9. So he's not able to shove you. So he's going to go ahead and once again with that radiant damage. Jesus. Alright.
Man down.
Shield. Throwing out a shield.
Okay, let's see if he gets an even higher attack again. Jesus Christ.
Hedges
Using an-
salutes as he gets stabbed through the visor.
Okay, so shove. Using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove the creature to either knock it prone or push it away from you. You're able to make multiple attack. If you're able to make multiple attack actions, this action replaces one of them. So
Alright.
it's just an attack. It's not.
Okay, so the first one would have pushed me.
Well,
out
we'll
of the
do
way.
that next time since
Yeah, it's
that'll
not a big deal. Yeah.
take 11 slashing damage.
Alright.
What are you at?
-4.
Alright, go ahead and fall prone, and you're going to need to make some death saving throws then.
Bleh.
Okay. And the radiant damage will not. Well, it will do in addition to that. They're going to take 7 as well.
Doesn't
So
it
is that
just
2
count from
fails?
0? Oh.
What?
If you take damage when you're down, that's
That
2
was part
fails.
of the attack that.
Well,
downed
yeah,
him.
it's part of the attack.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, that doesn't do anything.
If it's below half, or if he's below half his health in negatives, then he just dies though.
That has to be from one hit.
That is one hit.
No, he has to take one hit that reduces him from like.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool. I would. Yeah. That'd be super shit. Okay, so Hedges, you are slashed right through the fucking armor, and you fall down flat onto the floor, bleeding from this Lothric Knight's attack.
Okay.
Was that a single hit? Oh, no, that was the second one after he tries to knock him prone. So next up is going to be the crab.
The crab is gonna immediately run away, seeing Head just get knocked down.
Okay. And next up is Yumi.
I'm going to shoot at Hedges while he's down.
Okay.
Not really.
Are you keeping track of how many arrows you've got?
Yeah, I have 14 still.
Okay, cool.
Hey, that's a crit.
Nice.
Alright, so double my
Hit him
damage.
right in
plus-
the throat. What's up?
Double sneak attack as well.
Alright, so that's 2d6 plus 2d6.
Sick.
I'll just roll that out.
Yeah.
It's 46 plus 1 plus mod, so
Which
plus
would
4.
be plus 3.
So 46 plus 4?
19
Yeah,
damage.
you would have a you have a
Oh yeah, it's plus 2 proficiency and plus 4 dex. So 20 damage.
yeah.
Okay, so after the Lothric Knight slashes Hedges across the torso and radiant damage erupts from his chest and he falls backwards, the Lothric Knight immediately looks to Yumi, who shoots this arrow directly into the Lothric Knight's jugular, who falls to his knees as blood sprays out from his neck and falls to the ground dead in a heap.
Effortless.
I immediately run to Clamps and make sure that he's okay.
Can I
Make sure that Clamps is okay.
can I cast lay on hands on my downed friend to bring him back to life?
Any healing stabilizes him.
Lay on hands is just you don't even have to cast any. Touch someone and you can heal them for any amount equal to like each day you get equal to like 5 times your paladin level. So right now, if you're level 2, you can heal up to 10 each day.
Or you could just put 1 on me, bring me back
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that's exactly what you do.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
put
so
one
let's
on.
see how many souls you guys. Trying to find. So you guys are going to earn 300 souls
Divided by 4.
divided by 4, so you guys each get 75.
So 828.
Okay. Okay, and Hedges, with a deep gasp, is stabilized.
Hedges pops up, sits up groggily, pulling at like his torn chest, and smiles at Jarnafelt and puts his hand up to give him a hand up.
Jarnfelt helps him up.
And he claps him on the shoulder appreciatively.
Perfect.
Jarnfelt brushes off his shoulder armor.
And the cathedral, or this church, is quiet once again.
I'll walk over to Hedges and do a medicine check on him, see if I can help somehow.
Yeah, sure.
I crit it.
Do.
Mr. Crits.
And then I would say you'd be able to close up his wounds, and then you're going to be able to heal him a little bit.
So what, just recover 1 hit die on it?
I'm going to say with the crit for your medicine check, it's going to be like a minor healing potion. So that'd be 2d4 plus 2.
Should I roll it or should he?
You should roll it. Oh, actually, you know what, I have Jarnfelt roll it. Or, excuse me, I just roll it.
I'm going to tear off some rags from the dead cleric and tell him to hold still.
Alright. Plus 2 more, so 10.
You're welcome.
And
then, go ahead.
Hedges says, "Aye, fine companions indeed. Much appreciated."
And then I'll let you guys take a short rest in this area, not a long rest, because you never know who's going to pop up again. And then we can go ahead and search their bodies and see if they have anything additional.
During the short rest, I'm going to scavenge half of my used arrows back.
Uh-huh.
So that takes me from 14 back up to 17.
Perfect.
I'm gonna spend a hit dice to regain health. Oh crap. What? That's a D4, that ain't right. It's supposed to be a D10. I'll just roll.
Yeah. Remember, you guys each have a single Estus flask that regains its charge at dawn.
How much does that heal?
It is pretty much a minor. It's in unique magic items. It heals 2d4 plus 2. And then if you find more shards, it adds an additional charge for each shard that you have. So it's pretty much like an indefinite healing.
Okay.
Sweet. Before the taking the hit die and rest, I'm also going to use Second Wind to heal.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back up to full 23.
So, who wants to go ahead and investigate that?
I can. I'm standing right next to him.
Okay.
I roll for
I will
that, or-
say, first of all, off of the bodies immediately, you'd be able to see that you can pull off a great sword and a shield off of them, whoever, if anyone wants them.
I was gonna ask, because that Lothric Knight could one-hand a greatsword. Is there a way that I could learn to do that?
I'd
What's
say
your
his strength
strength?
score was high enough.
Okay.
Like 18
How-
or 20.
Okay.
He has a he's got a feat feature on him that's homemade called Giant Soul, which allows larger humanoids that are not human to be able to wield two-handed weapons one-handed.
So I can't get that, or
You can get it, but you'd have to wield it two-handed.
okay. So and there's no way I could wield it one-handed. Even with
I would say that. Well, what's your strength right now?
15, I think.
I'd
Yeah.
say your strength would have to be a 20 for you to wield it one-handed.
Okay.
So if at any point you're able to increase your strength through magic means to a 20 temporarily, you'd be able to do that.
Can Hedges go over there and check out the sword? He's not too far off from that when he picks up, after Jarnefeld's kind of messing with it. He finds that it's not too far out of his reach to wield, but not quite yet. One-handed.
Okay.
But he knows that it's obviously a sword is more fit for Jarnefeld, so he says, maybe you want to take this in case you decide to stop saving my life and do a bit more damage yourself.
Start actually hitting something. Yeah.
One day, maybe.
Yeah. Don't get your hopes up. Can I inspect the shield? Is the shield just a shield, or is it a special shield, or?
The abilities that this Lothric Knight seemed to have would be innate to him from his personal training, whatever it was. So it would just be a regular greatsword and a regular shield for you guys.
Okay. I'll take the great sword if nobody else wants it, and the shield's up for grabs.
Give it to the monk.
Okay, monk gets a shield.
I don't actually want it. I'm dual wielding right now.
Well, now you can have a shield too. You can have a shield on your back.
It. No.
Hedges actually picks up the shield and he takes the parrying shield off his back, looks at it longingly, and hands it over to Jarnefeld and says, "I might ask for this back one day, but you'd put it better to use than I at the moment."
Okay.
So if you want to take the parrying shield, I'll take the regular shield for now.
Sure.
Okay.
I wasn't really paying attention when we were talking about the parrying shield. What does...
As
that
It's
like
in
action
the
plus 2 to
unique
AC.
magic items.
And where...
That's in the server for Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anytime we earn something that's unique to this campaign, I'll go ahead and I'll put that in there.
Okay, cool.
And then who would like to roll for investigate to get some sweet loot, apparently. Or, hopefully.
All of us, every one of us.
I have a +5 in investigation.
Only one. And then you guys can divide it amongst yourselves.
Can I
Whoever's-
aid her so she can
You
have
sure
advantage?
can.
Alright, I'll do that.
Perfect. Okay, so investigating the priest, you're able to find 2 spell scrolls on him. You're able to find a spell scroll of Continual Flame, as well as a spell scroll of Augury.
Are you guys cool if I keep those?
Sure.
I'm gonna jot those down into my spell book because I don't have either of those spells.
And then on the Lothric Knight, you're able to find 2 potions. You're able to find a potion of Hill Giant Strength, as well as a potion of Greater Healing.
Okay, and then you guys can definitely take whatever you guys want for the potions.
I'm
good on potions.
And
I
Hedges
gave mine away.
looks over to Jarnefeld and says, "Is it alright if I take the one of might? I feel that I might be able to best use it."
Sure.
You said
It's
it was
all
Hill
yours, man.
Giant Strength?
Yep.
Who wants the greater heal?
I mean, that might allow Yarnefelt to use one-handed,
I
even
gave my
maybe for
healing
just a...
potions away, so
Yeah, you can take the healing potion for sure. But Yarnefelt might be able to use that potion of giant strength to one-hand that sword for a battle.
I think I will change something about the Lothric Knight Greatsword, since these guys are, difficult to hit and they do have a special weapon. I will add the 1d6. I'll give it a 1d6 radiant damage for you guys. So let me go ahead and add that in there. So it'd be 2d6. Isn't greatsword, regular greatsword is 2d6 slashing damage, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Addition plus 1d6 radiant damage, and then I'll give it the let's see, what did I call it? Was the
Giant
giant
strip.
strength.
Giant soul, yeah.
Giant soul.
Giant soul. If you have a strength 20 or greater, may wield the Authorite Great Sword one-handed. Okay, cool. Perfect. All right, and then we'll end this with a little bit of a cliffhanger for what's going to happen next. So, what were we wanting to do next? Were we ready to leave, or were we wanting to explore this place a little bit more?
Explore more, but knowing that the Potion of Hill Giant Strength will allow Jarnefelt to use the two-handed weapon in one hand at least for 1 hour, he's gonna hand that back over to him as well.
Yeah, because I think it'll give him like a +3 to his attack. Give you a +1. Because doesn't it just increase it to 20? Isn't that what that potion does?
Increases it to 21. Yeah, so he'll now have +5 to hit and damage with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And being able to use that two-handed, one-handed for an hour, pretty nice.
Yeah, that'll really help for our next fight. Big fight.
Sweet.
We should save it for that.
So now I have what kind of potion? A potion of might?
Potion of Hill Giant Strength.
As well as greater healing potion.
And then you said Spell Scroll of Augury and
And continual flame.
Continual Flame.
And Hedges, after handing over the parrying shield, says, "Don't get greedy with this now. I'm your first block, eh?"
Yeah. Of course.
Let's see.
So in the compendium, there's just potion of giant strength. Is that the same thing as hill giant
Potion of
strength?
giant strength is a sub thing. There are 4 kinds of giants.
Okay.
Hill
Oh,
giants
I
are the
see.
weakest though.
I see. I see.
I think it sets your strength to like 19.
21.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, close enough.
Makes
It's
all
all
the difference
good.
for that sword.
Sure fucking does. Okay, let me go ahead and add a little bit of a picture to this. Dope. Alright, so you said you want to do some exploring? Or were you wanting to continue forward?
Yeah, I think we are going to continue forward.
Yeah, this room's pretty much empty.
Okay, so we have these 2 large wooden church doors in front of us. And we can see daylight beyond that and feel a little bit of a cold breeze from underneath the doors. And let's see, what's the highest passive? Well, let me go ahead and... I would go ahead and say that you can hear the muffled shambling of feet across stone beyond this door.
More trouble, it seems.
And I would say you could hear you could see the shadows of medium-sized shambling creatures passing by the stained glass window.
If we prepare actions with the mage hand opening it, if we get surprised, can we potentially charge through and get some attacks off? If they haven't detected us.
Depending what you see.
Alright, well I'd like to whip out my halberd and be ready to do exactly that.
If we want, maybe Clamps could take a look?
And he Hedges looks down at the crab dubiously and says, "Aye."
Okay.
I mean, we only need to
Scout
open the
ahead
door.
If you wish.
We only need to open the door far enough for Clamps. If you scout ahead and get caught out, then you're alone. I mean, Clamps can come back from the dead.
Hedges gives a deep bow to the crab and gestures forward with a sweeping motion.
Clamps is gonna skitter out the door, and I'm gonna look through his eyes.
Dope. Okay. So let me go ahead and reveal what you guys are able to see for next session. So one of you guys cracks the door open just enough for this small, skittering swamp crab to leave. And what this crab sees before him is a large street spanning probably a mile or two in either direction. And we can see shambling hollows in ragged clothing, carrying farmers' gear and other tools and bags on them as they continue forward in a row aimlessly in one direction. As well as these two Lothric knights that are standing guard by this beautiful fountain. And hay inside a pulled carriage made of wood. The walls around you are too high, much too high to see past, I'd say 100 feet or so. And directly before you to the other side, you see the poorly crafted shingles of roofs that seem to lead to smaller homes with Lothric banners waving in the wind below the rooftops. And so this is where we'll continue as we head further into Lothric Castle and see what happens next as we explore.